Hello, my loves, and welcome, welcome, welcome to Made for Millions. Who is made for millions? We are. We are millionaires in the making. I'm so excited to welcome you here. If it's the first time that you ever connect with my world, my name is Lelia Ceausu. I am a spiritual and a business mentor. I support you to tap into your soul gifts and powers, create offers that are aligned with your soul gifts, and make a lot of money while impacting and changing the world. This is what we're here to do. And I wanted to create this masterclass because I just came back a few days ago from Puerto Rico. I've been there in a high-end, high-level business mastermind, and it was the first time in my life where I had the experience to be in an intimate room. We were about like I don't know, maybe a little bit less than 100 people. And I was around these like really successful entrepreneurs. And in the room, there were people who were just starting out, but there were a lot of people who were already millionaires who built empires in their business. And it was such an incredible experience to be in proximity with these people. And overall, the entire mastermind was at Ritz in Ritz Carlton, an incredible place, a beautiful place. The nature in Puerto Rico was so abundant. The people, everything, like everything was infused with abundance, with wealth, with beauty, with incredible energy, and I want to bring some of that here. And I also want to share with you my insights, what I took from that mastermind, so that you can apply it in your business and in your life, because it's not just about the business. And I want to share with you also the conversations that I had with these multimillionaires behind the scenes, because for me, the best kind of conversations I had were by the pool. By the beach, beyond the stage, beyond the performance, beyond the mic, beyond all of that. And I had some of the best advice, and I got to meet these people in their humanness, which is not something that we usually have the opportunity to do so. And just to bring some transformation in terms of like wealthy people and whatever your opinion is about wealthy people, I launched this project. I share with my audience that I am doing those micro interviews, interviewing multimillionaires to understand their mindset, to understand what is the belief, what are the beliefs, the main beliefs that supported them to create such success also at the financial level and business level. And just to support those, the alchemy of your beliefs, of how you're maybe perceiving wealthy people, I had two women from these multimillionaires that I met in Puerto Rico. They reached out to me and they were like, I want to support you with your project. And one of them had, like, she didn't ask for anything in return. So, just to prove that there are people who are wealthy, who are good, and your kindness is not impacted by becoming richer. As a matter of fact, money actually amplify what is already there. So if you're a kind person, if you're a gentle person, the more money come in, the more power you have to support other people, to be kinder to more people. Okay, so let's start. I wanted to give you a little bit of the context of like how this project was birthed, and like why should you even listen to this? I could have come back and just tell you like those were the main takeaways from my mastermind. But to be honest, I feel like the part where I actually spoke with these people and the things that they've shared and their personal stories, that would also bring you breakthroughs. So the way that I've organized this mastermind, this masterclass, is that I'm going to speak first based on what I saw. So I'm going to share my takeaways, and then I'm going to go into a part where is actually I've interviewed some of these people, and I'm going to be sharing with you their answers to the three most asked questions from the entrepreneur side regarding business and scaling the business and creating crazy levels of success in the business. And then we're going to move into a wealth activation. Of course, you're in my space. We're going to do energy work, of course. And then I'm going to extend you an opportunity if you want to go deeper into the work. So let's go. Let's start. Are we excited? Okay, so the first thing that I realized in this mastermind was that the people who created the most extraordinary results and really big levels of wealth in their business, they were not more perfect than we are. They were not having an easier life. They were not people without doubts, without fears, without messiness. They were also humans. Hello. I'm stating the obvious, and yet sometimes we forget and we think that these people live in a perfect bubble and that they are successful because they have the right conditions, but we forget that they actually build those conditions. None of the women that I met came from money. There was just one person that came from money. She was like coming from a multi-millionaire family, but I'm speaking about one person. So 99% of people were actually people who built wealth from zero against all the odds, against all the excuses and stories that we normally believe of why success is not possible for us. So what I've seen with these women is that no matter their background, like they were from Latam, from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, they were like single mothers, married women, like there was no kind of like common connection between their stories, to be honest. And also in terms of strategy, like I wouldn't have been able to say, okay, this strategy is going to work because strategy wise and business model wise, they had completely wild different approaches to business, different strategies. Some of them were more logical and analytical and like studying ads and Facebook ads and all of that. And other people were like complete opposite, no market research, go with your intuition, move, trust, believe, all energy work. And all of them were like millionaires, the ones that spoke. So I realized there is no one strategy towards success, but the common denominator was their mindset, was their belief, and how they were showing up in the business and behind the business that they were building. And another common thing that I noticed is that they all experienced in their lives a moment of no return, a moment of there's a line in the sand, a line in the sand where like no more toxic relationships, no more toxic friendships, no more survival energy, no more like I had enough. They were pushed by life in situations where there was like enough is enough. Enough is enough. The toxic marriage, the partner that wouldn't support them to rise, people that were keeping them small, friends that were keeping them small, being in survival mode, playing it small, like they've all had a moment where they were like, this is enough. This is enough. I was born for more. I'm going for more. I want more. And I'm going to put myself into spaces where I'm going to get and create more. So the point of no return. And the first thing that I've noticed, and is the first thing that I want to share with you, they all had a compelling desire. All of them. And this is something like, I want to say that I was very proud when I conducted those interviews because there were concepts there that I'm already teaching my existing clients, that I'm already sharing because I deeply believe them. And there were also things that I've also learned, like I didn't expect the answer. So I've learned from the answers, and also there were answers there that I'm like, I already believe this. It's already engraved inside of me. For example, having a strong desire, I deeply know how important that is because we all have fears at every single level of business that you will go. If you made 1 million in your business and now you're asked to do, maybe you made 1 million in 5 years and now you're kind of like invited to do 1 million in 1 year, 1 million in 1 day. There's always higher and higher and higher that you can go. And it will always feel like the first time when you started, even if you're not at the beginner level. You will always have fears and doubts because the human part doesn't chase existing, that doesn't stop existing, right? Doesn't dissolve. So your humanness is with you. And what I've noticed is that why certain people move, and the people who move the most are the people who have strong desires. They have such a compelling desire that the desire is stronger than any fear, any doubt, any reason why not to go for any excuse that they have. That desire is pulling them towards creating the desire. So it comes down to how much do you want the life that you say you want? How much do you want the business that you say you want? How much do you want the results that you say that you want? How much you want them? Because if you want them, if you truly desire them, and they are aligned with your soul path, that energy is going to pull you. It's gonna call you over and over again, and it's not gonna let you play small. It's not gonna let you stay in environments and relationships that are not aligned with that vision. So have a strong desire. The first thing, desire has to be stronger than your fears. Find a desire that is deeply aligned with your soul. Know what you want. Know what is your soul path, because it will be very hard to resist that. Okay, the second important thing that I've noticed is that visionary people move towards what doesn't exist yet. All these women had a visionary thinking, and by visionary thinking, I mean literally that they would believe and they would move towards something that was not existing yet. They were orientated towards what's possible and towards a vision that was not there yet, and they were not waiting for evidence. They were like, of course there is no evidence. Of course there is no evidence because I've never been there before. It's a vision. It exists in my imagination. It exists in a realm of possibility. It's just a possibility. I am creating the evidence. Of course I don't have evidence that this is possible. Of course, like looking at my past and in my current situation, in my current circumstances, I don't have the evidence because I meant to create the evidence. So having a vision and understanding that a vision is literally a future that you get to create. It's not here yet. So holding the energy of trust and moving towards something that doesn't exist yet. And they also decided, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to create, and I'm going to make it happen. So they don't wait for evidence. A lot of people are like, well, the current circumstances, my life, I don't have the right support, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time. These people, they observe the current circumstances, but they don't let the current circumstances define what they can create. They are like, this is what I want, I'm gonna go and create it. That's their drive, that's their mentality. The third thing that I want to share with you is that confidence is a trap. Confidence is a trap. A lot of people, and I know myself too at the beginning, we wait to feel in a certain way. We wait to feel readier. We think that if we feel uncomfortable, how many people did this? Like, I know I did this. We think that if we feel uncomfortable, or if we feel fear, or if we feel doubt, we think that that's not the moment to go after what we want. We think that we should feel differently or be differently in that moment. We think that if it feels uncomfortable, maybe it's not the right path. It's not the aligned path. It's not meant for me. This is what we think. Confidence is built through action. Confidence is built through repetition. Confidence is built through evidence that gets to compound over time. It will never come first. You will never be like, I'm confident and so I move. I show up and so I move. No, that's not how it works. Confidence, you're gonna become confident when you take action over and over and over again. When you have built evidence once and then you build evidence twice, 3 times, more times, that's when your confidence is being built. It's being built through movement, through repetition, through action. What comes first is bravery and boldness. You are meant to be willing to feel the fear and move anyway. Feel the doubt, notice the doubt, and move anyway. And this is what I want. I'm feeling the fear and the doubt. I'm going to take action anyway. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to take action anyway. Until you build the confidence. So, the people that I met were not fearless. but they were just people who were willing to act and to trust before all the proof. And they were people who were willing to lean into their uncomfortable feelings. Yes, they were still feeling fears. Even the organizer of the event, she's like a 8 figures entrepreneur. She had so many fears coming up right before the event. She had fears when she entered in the room. She had fears when she walked on the stage. She had fears. She said she cried the night before. These people are not less human than we are. They are just brave enough to move despite the fear, to not let fear stop them, to not let doubt, confusion stop them. Fourth thing that I want to share with you, big reminder, be delusional. Set big, audacious goals, build beyond logic. Big goals require creativity, not certainty. So I had this woman that I actually interviewed her, and she said that she started her design company with a tiny desk. Everything was like super scrappy and like really, really basic when she started. She had this excitement and a really ridiculous big vision. She wanted to open offices all over the world. She was 24 years old when she started. But here's the thing, when she told me that she was available for a big vision. So she was 24 years old, just starting out, and she was already dreaming, I'm going to have offices all over the world. She went to Taiwan and she didn't speak any Chinese, and she ended up opening her first office there. And she told me, like, I had all the reasons not to do this, but I said yes to the vision, and I didn't know anything before I took action. She figured things out while taking action. She was literally like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm taking action and I'm learning and I'm learning and I'm adjusting and I'm learning. Imagine the boldness and the bravery to go in another country. You're not speaking the language. You don't know the legislation. You have to like find yourself, find your path through everything, and she still did it. She talked about the importance of setting really big visions, the like really big goals that your mind can't even grasp. And she told me like a lot of people get scared when they have like big visions because they don't know how to do them. And her invitation was, like instead of like feeling feeling like you cannot do or feeling scared of a big goal, lean into your creativity, into your excitement that you get to create that you get to find a way to do it. She also told me that she was not aware how she was going to make her goals come true, but she had the goals in front of her eyes every single day, and every single day she would take a tiny simple action towards those goals every single day. They kept growing, they started to hire more people and eventually outsource the part of their business that was not their genius. They were a design company. And she also told me like the more the business grows, it's important to pivot and change, because growth requires letting the version of the business that got you here evolve so you can meet where you're going. Now, she scaled that business to $40 million. And eventually, she closed the business. She separated. She built the business with her partner. She separated ways with her partner. She went through a lot of changes in her life. Now she's building again. Do you think she's gonna succeed? Because the mindset is already there. The energy is already there. She already did it. Of course, she's gonna succeed. Okay. So she told me this at the beginning of the journey. It's about getting excited, not scared of the big goals, and leaning into your creativity, into innovation, allowing yourself to be curious, trusting your ability to create solutions. Her one question that drove her process over and over again throughout the years was like, how might we create this? She would always ask herself, how can I make this happen? What are the solutions? If I don't know something, she didn't stop. She was like, how can I make this happen? How can I create solutions? What is the solution here? We don't need to know everything. We just need to trust our creativity enough and to start to remember that we are creative beings. Okay. Now, the fifth thing. So, crazy levels of trust in your vision, coming deeper into the trust part. One of the women I met, she was a psychic. I want to burst your bubbles because a lot of people are like, oh, you only if you are a business coach, only if you are having a certain job or work, or that's the only way that you can make money. This woman is a psychic, spiritual work, pure spiritual work, spiritual leader. Okay, she hosted personal development event for one weekend, and she had us 170 people in the room. The reason why I'm sharing this is because myself included, sometimes I'm like, my audience is quite tiny. I don't have too much visibility. I only have like 60 people on my email list. Maybe that's why I'm not growing my business faster. I have those stories still. And this woman bursted my story with her story. Because how much money do you think she made? And some of you, if you were in my other programs, you already know this story. But how much money do you think she made in one weekend? It was an event about personal development, and she had 170 people in the room. How much money do you think she made with 170 people in the room? She made $2.2 million in one weekend with 170 people in the room. A lot of the times we believe that we need more followers, more people on our list, more views, more testimonials, more visibility before we start to sell premium offers, before we start to go big in the business. And we start to obsess on the niche, the numbers, the economics, the market, all of the stories that we tell to ourselves. This woman, I saw her, she blew my mind because to get to that number in one weekend, mainly she's all about three things. She knows how to sell. She's a very good seller. If you hate sales, you're leaving money on the table. You gotta look at your beliefs. If you want to serve thousands of people, you gotta learn how to sell. She had a clean energy around sales. She knows how to sell. She knows how to deliver profound value. She's delivering value. The reason why people bought during the weekend in her event is because she gave them value, like really deep, life-changing kind of value. So are your offers, is your business delivering insane value? Are you changing people's lives through your products, through your services? Do you know how to sell those products and services? Do you know how to sell that value? So knowing how to sell, delivering insane value. And the third thing is that she trusted her vision, she trusted herself, she trusted her work, she trusts like a maniac. She's like crazy levels of trust. That's what I always say, crazy levels of trust. But she was like psychopath kind of level of trust. This woman, after sharing with us the story of the retreat, of the event that she 3 days retreat, that created that incredible result in her business, she also shared with us how she sold her first 120K offer. Are you guys ready? The guys that are obsessed with the strategy, with market research, all the things, all the testimonials. She sold her first 120K offer without any proof of concept, without any testimonial, without any research, without any previous client paying her at that level. How could she do that? She showed up. First of all, she decided, I want to sell 120K offer. And then she decided that she's gonna trust that until it becomes a reality. She showed up and she spoke about that offer as if that offer already had changed hundreds of lives, as if it was already an established offer, as if it was the 30th time that she would launch it. She actually said that I showed up and I sold this as if it was my 30th time doing it. She got herself aligned energetically. And she sold the offer. Somebody bought her offer. And they were so happy with her offer that they started to speak about the offer for her. And before she knew it, there were people fighting to buy her 120K offer. She had to close the offer because it was high level of proximity 101 and she couldn't take more people. She went from there's no one buying because there was no proof of concept, like it was the first time she launched it, to having people fighting over paying her 120K offer. She's a psychic and spiritual leader. I want to say something here because I feel it's important. Like this woman, her message, and I hope you don't take this this way. Her message is not about fake it until you make it. That's not her concept. Her concept was like, have a vision, have clarity what you want, and be in such depth devotion to that vision that you trust it and you speak about it and you bring it into reality as you speak about it. You trust it so much and you speak about it as if it's already here. And reality has no choice but to bend itself and make it happen for you. You're literally getting to create that vision in real time as you're bending reality. That was her concept. It was not about fake it until you make it. This woman, she was in depth 100K in 2019. She went in bankruptcy in 2019. She heavily invested in her mentorship and like in personal development. She went a lot to personal development and spiritual development events. And she built a business that nowadays in total, so from 2019, 100K in depth, she built a business up until today. So it's like, I don't know how many years. We are like 7 years, 9 millions. 9 millions in sales. And she said that in the first years, she invested 2 million to go at events so she could study events, so she could experience events. And nowadays she's organizing some of the best events, spiritual and personal development events. She invested a lot in order to take and experience and create the best and deliver the best. Because in order for 170 people to buy at that level, she has to deliver insane kind of value, right? Life-changing value. Okay, so what I've noticed and what I've learned is that, and also I've learned also through what my own mentor reflected back to me, there are kind of like two ways of doing business and scaling your business and selling premium offers. And there is not right or wrong. Both ways are right, but they just work differently. So you kind of like you have to know which way you want to go. Do you want to go more the logical way or you want to go more the intuitive way? Because they kind of like have a different approach and they both work. So the first way of doing business is that you literally trust the vision before it's there and you trust your intuition, you move with your intuition and you move before the evidence is there. You play in a field of all possibilities and you understand that you're going to face uncertainty. And in uncertainty, anything and everything can happen. There is no certain outcome yet. And therefore, you're in the field of all possibilities. The advantage is that literally you can create results that make no sense. You can scale faster. Time disappears. It's rather about like your levels of trust. Logic disappears, just as it happened for this woman. She didn't wait to do market research. She didn't focus so much on the marketing. She was not so much into like, let me check which is the right hook and the right marketing message and the branding. Like she was not into that. She was like, I'm going to talk about this offer and I'm going to sell through my energy. And the second way of doing business and scaling your premium offers is that you get to be more in a more like kind of like logical approach. And I've seen people coming on stage and they are more logical and more grounded and they study the market, they test the market, they taste the hooks, they test the angles, they rise their prices gradually, they support their nervous system first to, like, instead of like jumping from one, I don't know, like 10K to 100K offer, they go 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K, and they support their nervous system to kind of like expand gradually. They deepen their skill set, they strengthen their positioning over time, and it's a logical way. It works. It is more linear, and it might take more time than the first one. So it's like it's up to you how you decide to grow your business and how you decide to approach business. Of course, you can combine those two ways, but I feel that mostly one is predominant. You either move intuitively and it doesn't make any sense, but then you're required to believe and trust like a maniac before the things are there, and it's going to work and you're selling more from your energy. And the other one is like you're studying more, you're more strategic, more like logical, and you spend more energy and time in like understanding things logically. You're still moving. It might take you a little bit longer. There is no right or wrong. They're both working. It's just different ways of approaching business. Okay. The sixth point, the excuse of alchemy. The reasons you think you cannot do something are often the reasons why you must do something. Okay, so if you live a life where you are like, I don't have the time to do what I love, that is exactly the reason why I would personally go and invest to learn how to manage my time. Go and invest how to prioritize my own life, invest in mentorship, invest in spaces where I am surrounded by people who actually are organizing their time properly so that I get to do what I love doing. If I don't have the money, I go and invest in learning more about money, learning more about investments, learning more about creating passive income, putting myself into spaces where other people speak about money and wealth and like trigger me and like help me to grow, help me to scale my business. If my health is not great, that's the exact reason why I would choose to invest in my health, to improve things, to move things, to test out new things. So whatever the excuse is that your circumstances are not good now, that you don't have the time, that you don't have the money, that you don't have the help, wherever the excuse is, that's exactly the invitation for you to create alchemy, to rise to the occasion, and to invest more than ever in that area of life, because you are literally called to alchemize it. And all the people that went on stages, they all had excuses, but their excuses were not running the show. They were not running their lives. And when it comes to business and success, I had my mind being blown away because I met people, multi-millionaires, six-figures entrepreneurs that were from LATAM, from Africa, from Asia, women that were like single mothers with 7 children. Like, what? What? There was a single mother of 4 children, and she was like, a lot of mothers out there, they're like, I'm a mother, and this is why I cannot do XYZ. I cannot invest. I cannot take risks. I cannot do this, and that. I don't have the time. And she was like, her personal belief, her personal drive was like, I am a mother and this is why I must do all of those things. Her children were not the excuse, her children were the reasons why she was taking bold actions, why she was investing, why she was risking, why she was moving towards a life that she wanted to build for herself and her children. So, yes, I met people who really like all my excuses. Through the window, Lelia. Okay. How much do you want something, especially what you say you want? And are you willing to go into the alchemy of becoming the person who gets to create what you say you want? 7th point, proximity is power, and relationships are part of your business strategy, the best business strategy that you will have. Question for you: are you in rooms where you're being expanded? Are you in rooms that stretch you? Because no one, not even a single person that I met, was where she was or built something extraordinary alone. Not even one person. And every single person that I met, every single person that went on that stage and spoke and shared their success and their story and their humanness as well, they did it in proximity to other powerful people. They had mentors, they had communities, they went into rooms that stretched them, that triggered them, they stayed in the rooms that triggered them. They had relationships that expanded them. Who are you around shapes what feels normal. When you get in rooms where boldness is normal, where investing is normal, where people speaking about money and wealth, it's normal. When leadership is normal, where incredible things are like it's normal, you can do it. Like you have people who have this attitude that you can do it. When you get in the right room with the right people, you stop feeling like you're crazy for wanting more. You stop feeling like your desires are too much, and you stop feeling like you have to apologize for your ambition. And I have been, unfortunately, but it's all part of the journey. It's nothing is a mistake. I've been for years surrounded by people, friends, and also mentors who told me, Lelia, your prices are too high. You're just starting out. You're charging way too high. This is why you're not selling. This is why nobody's buying. I was told like, yeah, you already have a client because you posted one story. You should be happy you want more. You're greedy. Uh, Mentors were like, the coaching industry right now, it doesn't go through a good moment, and people are not buying, and your services are high, and like the price is too high. Nobody's gonna buy. Oh my God, this was like 2 years ago, and I got myself into rooms where I could see mentors doing the same thing, living in the same country as the other person that told me that coaching is like going down and people are not investing at premium levels. A coach from the same country doing the same thing, making millions. Till date, she still makes millions. She just had like her highest sales month. She did like 1 million in one day, and she did 3 millions in 1 month. She went from more to more and more and more to more speed to more speed to more speed. Same country, same industry. The problem with me was not that my prices were high. The problem with me was that I didn't have the mentors who would tell me, Lelia, go and learn how to do sales. Go and learn how to sell premium offers. Understand buyer psychology. Understand and work on your energy so that when you are offering an offer, you stay energetically behind the offer and you have zero doubt that that's the value of your offer. I went into this mastermind and I shared my next 10x offer. Like last year, I've created my first 10K offer. I prepared months to launch my first 10K offer. And in October last year, I had my highest month yet in business. It was a 33K month. And it took me months to get myself to the 10K offer. And now I went to this mastermind, and story short, I felt the invitation from my own soul to create a 100K offer. And as I grabbed the mic and I was in that room and I shared the vision, there was a part of me was like, they're going to say that I'm crazy. I have no proof of concept. Um, like and I was also unsure, like, am I going to market this, am I going to sell this, am I meant to like make market research, like how would I start, am I meant to like go from 10K to 20K 50K and then 100K, but it didn't felt aligned in my soul. I was like, I felt the pull towards the 100K. And I remember that I realized when I shared the vision, I realized that I was in the right room. I was in the right room because people didn't look at me like you're crazy. People didn't look at me like this is something unrealistic. And I realized that my big vision for some people, they were like it was like my ceiling was their floor. It was their normal. It was their beginner level. They were like, of course you can do this. And I started to speak with people who already bought the 100K offers. Not only sold the 100K offers, but they were buyers of 100K offers. And then the crazy vision started to become normal. So be in rooms where you have mentors that they don't tell you you're too ambitious or this is crazy, nobody's gonna buy this, or you're too expensive, or this is not possible, the economy, the people that be in rooms with mentors who ask you, how are we gonna build this? Let's do it. That they support you to trust your vision, that they support you to trust, especially not only when the evidence is not there yet, but the evidence is against it, against your desire, against what your mind thinks is possible. Be in rooms where you have mentors that help you believe and trust and move towards what you want. People who say like, how are we going to do this? Very important in business, build relationships with people. Every single person that I met, they were like, even the speakers themselves, they were invited to speak at the event. It was really interesting how they went there at the event. They were like introduced through certain connections years ago. They met in different rooms years ago. Like, you never know where a relationship takes you. Build relationships with people and play long-term games with people. If you have people in your spaces and they're not buying now from you, don't start to like push them away or be like, I don't care about this person, because they don't buy yet. You never know when they buy. Maybe it's a week after, maybe it's next month, maybe it's a year after, maybe they recommend someone else to buy from you. I had people that I met 10 years ago that recommended clients to come and work with me at my premium level in the highest offers available. You never know where a relationship takes you. Okay. 8th point, your humanness is your true power. People don't want perfection. Whatever it is that is going on in your life right now, speak about it. Use it in your sales. Let people see you. Let people feel your humanness, because honestly, what is real for us, if you share that, there is like truth frequency that is magnetic and that sells. It's energy that is alive. So there was this woman. She's also a multi-millionaire. She is a very successful woman. She owns like the second lip balm company in the USA, and she created a 7 figures empire also through her Facebook group strategy. So she's like a machine. She's a powerhouse woman. And when she grabbed the mic, she didn't start to speak about her business. She did later on share with us the Facebook strategy, and she served us. But what she spoke about was her humanness. She was like, she shared with us that she's showing up at like her 40%, and she became a mother for the second time, and she was still like kind of like finding her way through to find balance back, to find the hormonal balance back after the birth. And I'm not going to go into details because I want to respect her privacy, but the whole thing is that she moved us the most from all the speakers. We felt the most connected with her because she was the rawest one. She was the most vulnerable one, and she was the most magnetic one. But it takes courage to be in front of people, to be on stage, and to share not only your business success, but to share your rawness in that moment. And honestly, like, we were all impressed when she said that she's at her 40%, because we were like, wow, the most on point coaching that we received throughout all the speakers were amazing. But the most on point coaching was from her. We wouldn't even have known that she was at 40%. But the fact that she came up and she spoke about that, she gave us all permission to show up in our rawness, in our truth. And she literally became the embodied example that when you share the truth, when you are transparent, there is this alive energy in that truth that is truly magnetic, because her story was the one that touched us the most, stayed with us the most, moved us the most, and inspired us the most. So your humanness, it's your superpower. And honestly, I've also met these people like by the pool and by the beach, like beyond beyond them coming on stage, and they don't have perfect lives. They are still figuring things out in relationships. They are, and even if they have it all, even if they have some of them have it all. Some of them have husbands, incredible husbands, children, the businesses thriving. They're still human beings. They still have ups and downs. Something in their business still sometimes is challenging. They still have clients that live in unexpected ways, and then they have to like face the situation, or they have clients who sometimes go behind their back and like they start to speak badly about their work. Like they face challenges. It's not that their humanness is being like erased, but what I found it over and over again is like they don't let those things stop them, and they learn how to lead themselves through really big emotions, through the emotional waves. Okay, the ninth point, the ninth part, the ninth point. Check your money beliefs and your wealth stories. If you have a business, then making money in your business gets to be a priority. And I know this. A lot of people say that we want more impact, we want more freedom, we want to contribute, we want to build a legacy. We have all those big declarations. But most of us still carry shame and judgment and discomfort and even resentment around money. If you judge wealthy people, if you cringe around sales, what do you think is going to bring the money in the business? Is the sales. So if you cringe around sales, if you make money mean greed or selfishness or corruption, then believe me, consciously or unconsciously, you're going to resist creating and receiving money. It's that easy. I'm not saying that money has to be the whole point of your business, because then if you don't make money from the beginning, or you don't make the money that you want in business, then you just stop doing it if you're in just for the money. So I'm not saying like it's all about the money. I am saying though that money matters. Money is important. Money needs to be a priority in your business, because money is a powerful resource. Money creates options, creates support, creates access, creates the ability to improve someone's life, the ability to create more comfort, more safety for someone, to contribute, to support other people's health, other people's freedom, other people's capacity to grow in their lives. Like if you have still resistance around making more money, it means that you haven't done enough to donate enough. Because the moment that you start to circulate more money, you start to understand how much you can support when you have more money. Okay. The 10th point that I wanted to share, and the last one from my perspectives, is decide what you want and become the one who creates it. So at the end of the day, it comes down to decision. And I have 3 questions to support you to get into that energy of decision. Decide, what do you want? Like, what do I want? What is a strong, compelling desire that you have that is stronger than your fears? What is a desire that is truly aligned with your soul, with your heart, with what your heart and your soul is calling you to do? The second thing, decide, who are you meant to become? Who are you meant to become? It's about identity. You know you want something. Who are you meant to become in the process? What is the identity that you're meant to create in order for you to achieve what you say you want, or the goal that you desire? And the third thing is what can I do now to make this work? It's about strategy. It's about taking action now. So what do I want? Who am I meant to become? What can I do now to make this work, to make this vision a reality, not just a vision? Go decide that you go after what you want, and decide that you're going to make it work, and you're going to find solutions. All these people that were on stage and that were wildly successful, all of them All of them were focused on solutions. They were aware of the problems and the risks and the fears and the doubts and the reasons why not to do it. They were aware of the reasons why not to do it. They were aware of the issues, of the challenges, but they were focused on solutions. They were focused on making things happen. They were focused on creating resources. They were focused to get themselves in the rooms, in the spaces where they were surrounded by other go-getters and action takers. That's how they were operating. That's how they were navigating life. They were aware of the risks and what they could lose, but they were not focused on the risks and what they could lose. They made decisions based on the level at which they wanted to be, not based on the level at which they were now in the present moment. And they were focused on what was possible. So the lady that built a $40 million company, she told me this. We knew from the beginning that we are going to grow and go big. So she knew before they were big. We knew from the beginning. There was no other option. We were like, this is going to happen. We just decided we will make it work. So she said like there was no other option. Like I'm aware of the failures, but that's not an option. I'm going to make this work. That's the kind of mindset that drove their business. Okay, now I want to go into the micro interviews that I had with these people and share with you their exact direct thoughts. So I asked them like the 3 most burning questions, and I also changed one question. I cheated because I wanted to bring you guys more value. Okay, so the first question that I asked was, what did you have to believe about yourself and your work before the outside evidence existed? So one of the ladies is a spiritual mentor. She built 6 millions in her business so far, and she's also a retreat organizer. And she told me that the thing that helped her the most to believe before the evidence was there was to connect with her soul, to know her dharma, to know her unique gifts, and to have other people reflect back to her what were those unique gifts. And to have people reflecting this back to her over and over and over again, to remind her over and over and over again. And she said, I feel people wobble the most when they are still unsure of their unique zone of genius, of their gifts. And I would say that the number one priority should be to be around people who reflect back to you your zone of genius. Then I asked her what helped her sell high ticket for the very first time, and she said her intuition. She said her intuition. She said that she connected with the frequency of the offer. She felt into the transformation and the value that her offer would create for other people, and that's how she decided the price. End of story. She like didn't go into all the analysis paralysis. She moved with her intuition. Okay. The third question that I asked her was when she has the human moments, when like fear, self-doubt, freeze mode hit, what helps her to move again? And her answer was that I put a lot of skin in the game. I invest and I commit at a very high level so that I honestly do not have the luxury, she said. I don't have the luxury to stay waffling for a long time. I quite literally do not have the luxury to do that. I commit at such high level that there is no possibility for me to stay in the freeze mode. If I were to stay in the freeze mode, I would absolutely have to pay some very high stakes. So I get really big in how much money I'm investing and how much skin I put in the game. She also said, hands down, the most important thing is being in mentorship, being with other people who are also playing at a high level. There is no way to hold yourself at a high standard and being with other people who are doing the same things and then mirror with them. If you mirror with people who are not after big things, you are not going to be held in your acceleration. Okay, I love that. I really love that. Another woman Let's bring them on. Mother of seven, author and speaker, seven figures in 5 years. She was also featured in Forbes. She was 6 times a bestseller. And she was one of the people who reached out to me and said that she wanted to support this project. She was like 3 phrases. We didn't go into the whole question. She was like 3 phrases. She said, if there is one thing that she wants to transmit to people is stop thinking and start taking action. Get out of your head and take scrappy, messy actions towards your vision. Instead of thinking about the how, it's rather about your raw courage. The raw courage that it takes to move towards the vision and act as if you know how to do it. The how will drop in time. This has been my quantum leap recipe in the past 6 years. Okay, the 40 million lady that built an empire. I asked her what does she do in the human moments when there is fear, self-doubt, freeze mode. What helps her move again? She said that she likes to start smaller. She chooses, when she's in freeze mode, she chooses 5 things that are absolute priorities and she takes small actions. And the whole goal is to move the energy, to start to be in the movement. She also told me that she likes to have a brag box with meaningful feedback. So in a box, in a folder on her desktop, she keeps feedback from her past clients, even conversations with friends. Every time somebody reflected back to her how much her work impacted them, how much her presence impacted them, and they wrote this. She has a folder where she keeps that, and in the lowest moments she reads that. This is the second woman that basically told me how important it is to surround yourself with people that constantly remind you and reflect back to you your spiritual powers, your talents, your uniqueness, your gifts, your the meaning of your presence, the depth of your work, the value of your work, the value of your own existence. Is the second person that reflected how important that is. Okay. And the last point, she also said, like, it's important to connect back to how meaningful my work really is and to come back to why am I doing this, as in the bigger purpose of like what drives him, what's my bigger why. Okay. And then the last person that I interviewed, she did her first 7 figures in sales, not yet net, but she's getting there. Okay. So when it comes to herself, before like moving, before the evidence was there, she said that she's more practical. Instead of placing her beliefs somewhere in the future, that like she has a goal and she used to believe that it will eventually happen. It will happen, but not now, a little bit farther down the line. She decided to look at her beliefs regarding money, regarding time, apologies, regarding the time. And she decided that things are about to happen now. She's like, she changed her beliefs into there's magic around the corner. I am believing that things are happening now. I am believing that things are happening now, today, this month, not later. So she worked on her beliefs when it came regarding time and regarding when success would happen, and like all of the beliefs of like later on. I also asked her like what did she decide differently that allowed her business to scale. And she said that there were 3 main things that she did to scale her business. The first thing is that she looked at her beliefs around time and money. And she also became aware how much time she was consuming making decisions. So she learned to make faster decisions instead of like going back and forward and spending time thinking rather than taking action. So for example, she gave me an example, like she was debating for so long if she should raise her offer from $39 per month to $79 per month. She was laughing when she shared this. And she's like, after I did the money and the time beliefs cleanup, I had no problem to raise my mastermind from 6K painful to 18K painful in one shot. And half of it was sold out after she launched it and after she spoke about it, even if she increased the price. So she's like, I went really deep in my own beliefs around money, especially around the beliefs that she had about people paying in full. And also, she went really big in believing that what she did had incredible value. She said that she started to implement, to like absorb, to embody beliefs like plenty of people have money to pay in full, people love to pay in full. And she said that she worked on her beliefs regarding the pay in full, and in 1 week, she already got her first pay in full client that paid her a 10K package. It was the highest that she ever sold pay in full. So we come back to what is true in your field. What are your beliefs about money, about prices, about sales, about money? Hello, hello. It's not economy. It's not the country where you live. It's the truth that you hold in your field, the beliefs that you have. She said that I believe that people in my audience didn't have the money to invest at the high level. I changed that into people cannot afford not to come into my offers. And there are so many people that cannot wait to work with me. So she changed her belief. Okay. The second thing that she did is that she started to focus on selling premium offers versus low ticket and kept breaking her own beliefs around money and time. Premium offers is something that I keep guiding my own clients, my higher level clients to do, create premium offers. uh, I'm not saying like don't create low ticket offer, but for a lot of people, just like also this person was like spending so much time thinking and debating, should I sell a 60, what was her price? 39 for $40 offer, or should I sell a $80 offer per month, and like spending so much time and energy there and spending so much time and energy to gather people in an offer that is 100 euros per month, so it's a membership, and then you don't have any premium offer, and then of course you feel tired, you feel burned out by your own business. There is no premium offer, there is no clear business model behind that can support you to grow and scale your business. So this is the exact work that I'm doing also with my private clients. We work on the premium offers and also how to get yourself in terms of mindset and energetics behind the premium offers to sustain them and sell them. Okay, the third thing that she said is that she became a mother for the second time, and she started to lean into creativity to shift her business into a model that allowed her to take time off. So the biggest breakthrough for her was to learn and to rewire her own beliefs that she's not the only person that can sustain her business. She started to hire people, she started to hire support, she started to step back from the business and still believe that the business is going to work, the business is going to deliver value, the business is going to help people change their lives. She's like, I let the business grow beyond myself. So those were the three things she did in order to scale her business. The beliefs around money and time, she rewired those. She focused on selling premium offers rather than like selling crickets. And the third thing, she started to hire support and let the business grow beyond her so she can also have time for her children and family. Okay, I also asked her what does she do when she feels the fear coming up in the human moments, and she said that she's a physical processor, so she gets movement. She goes running. She's like processing things by moving her body. And she was a scientist. She told me that before becoming a coach, she was a scientist, and she was actually studying the chemicals of the body when we are happy. So she was very dedicated to like study happiness. And she told me something really interesting that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. She said that you can only get at the level of 7 of happiness out of 10, 7 out of 10 on a daily basis if you do not move your body. So movement is what your body needs in order to produce and release the chemicals of happiness. And the second thing that she told me that she first she moves her body, and the second thing that she does in her human moments is that she gets around other people who eat problems for breakfast. She said, I don't put myself into a room where people validate and echo how hard the situation is for me because then I will stay at that level. I am in rooms where people help me rise, help me rise, keep me at higher levels, and lean into solutions with me. Having a community and resources to constantly lean into positive thinking and what's possible. I like to be around go-getters. There you go. There you go. Those were the main takeaways, and those were the feedback that these women directly gave to us as golden nuggets. And let me know in the chat, please, how it was for you. What were your breakthroughs? What surprised you? And I have one of my clients here is she's live and she's like, that is exactly what you're doing for us. Yes. A lot of the things. Like I was blown away when I interviewed these women because I'm like, you guys, we're on the good path here. I have the same visions. I have the same mindset, the same beliefs. And to be honest, I also had things that I was surprised. I was like, wow, many times when we are in doubt, the woman who told me like it's a luxury to stay there, she blew my mind. She was like, it's a luxury to like stay and wobble. It means that it doesn't cost you enough money to stay there. Like you gotta invest even more into a place where you're like, I cannot afford not to show up. A lot of people are like, and I know this, like a lot of people are staying behind the busyness, the family, the time, the money, and I met these people there in this room, guys. They have the same excuses. They have the same um, limitations. We all have them. It's their human limitations. But they are people who do not let those be the reasons why they don't go after what they say they want. These are people, that's why I say, like, I believe this is my takeaway after meeting these people. They all have a strong drive. They all have this incredible desire of building a certain life or building something in their life. And that desire is so strong that any excuse dissolves. I don't have the money. I'm going to make the money. I'm going to create the money. I'm going to make things happen. I'm going to borrow the money. I'm going to move resources. I'm going to show up. I don't have the time. I'm going to create the time. I'm going to wake up 30 minutes earlier. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this happen. They all have the same. It's like, it's impossible that they are all so successful and they have completely different strategies. Like one of them is like, I have no proof of concept, no previous client that bought 100K offer. I'm gonna go and sell and just like I'm gonna decide that this is gonna work. I'm gonna believe in it until it's gonna happen. I'm gonna move until it's gonna happen and it's gonna happen. And the other one is like, let me analyze the market. And like I had someone at the end that went really, really nerdy. Like analyzing the ads and like honestly for me it was like next level. I was like, oh my god, like I'm not that techy, but that's how they were building their business and growing their business, and they were speaking about ads and like super technical. They were still multi-millionaires. It was still working. It's just completely different approach to business, completely different strategies. The mindset behind of trusting things before they are there, trusting themselves, taking action, showing up, desiring to grow, desiring to create an extraordinary life where they are free, where their families are provided for, their families are free. That desire was so strong in all of them, and nothing would have stopped them. Nothing would have stopped them. Their perspectives and visions for themselves are unlimited. I love this. They don't take no for, yeah, they don't take no for an answer, even if it's a no from themselves. Yeah, yeah. Super interesting. Love this. Um, yeah, I agree with the lady that spoke about the moving the body. I've been experimenting with this. Okay, love it. Thank you for being live. And if you're watching the replay, that's amazing. You guys, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna extend an invitation for you if you want to come and join my world. And then I'm gonna move into the juicy part and we're gonna do a little bit of activation and energy work. But I feel like right now I want to make you the invitation if you want to be in my world. And then we move into energy work. How does that sound? Let's go, let's go. So I have created a space in my world. There is a space in my world. If you resonate with my energy, if you resonate with what I've shared here with this vision, this is exactly also what I'm doing. And it blew my mind when I went in that room and I went there because I actually launched an offer last year, and it's all about having crazy levels of trust and taking bold actions before you have the evidence, before you have the results. Like, you have a vision in business, it can be like, I want to sell 10K offers, 10K offers, or I want to make 10K per month, or I want to make 20K per month, or I want to make more. For myself, also the stakes have risen. Now I'm like, oh, I have to go to 100K offer. Let's go, let's do this. So if you have a vision in your business, if you want to fall in love with your business again, if you want to um, create a business where you have the freedom to be with your family and the loved ones, to be free to go where you want, travel where you want, do what you do, and be wildly successful and have the financial freedom and birth offers that you're in love with. A lot of people are successful, and I've also seen these kind of people that are successful, but they are in burnout because they are doing too little of what they love doing and too much of what they don't love doing. So that's why you go into burnout. If you want to birth projects that are aligned with your soul genius, the kind of work that is going to feed your soul is the kind of work that is birthed through your natural genius, that the offers that are birthed and are aligned with your natural soul gifts and soul powers. In my world, first of all, you become aware, there is zero doubt, what are your soul powers and your soul gifts. I bring them into your awareness, I speak the truth, and then you can no longer deny it, you can no longer unsee it. You feel it, you recognize it, you remember, you activate new soul gifts and new soul powers. And we don't stop there. We channel together offers that are aligned with your soul genius. And we don't stop there. We don't stop there. We go and we launch premium offers because I want to see you rise. I want to see you empowered. I want to see you thriving financially. I want to see you with a nervous system that doesn't have to worry about ending the month again. I want to see you like on the long term, building a business, building a legacy, building an empire that supports you financially, that supports you to bloom financially. And what I've seen over and over again is that throughout all those phases of you becoming aware of your genius and becoming aware of the offers, like how can I channel those soul gifts into actual offers that people buy? How can I create value that other people buy? Then how can I sell them at a premium level and trust that people will buy? Beyond all of this, there is a lot of mindset work, and I have created a space. I have created a space where you can tap into a community anytime you want and like stay plugged into the frequency of trust. The reason why people don't succeed in their businesses is not because they are not smart enough or talented enough or like your work is not good enough. It's not because of that, but it's because of the level of trust that you have in yourself and in your work. This is why, like, the number one feedback that came from everybody that I've interviewed, from all these women, they said be around people who literally constantly remind you of your genius, of your uniqueness, of why you and only you can birth a certain process, birth a certain offer, create something that is uniquely yours. Being spaces, and this is a space that I have created, the mastermind is a space where women come and they stay plugged into that frequency of trust, trusting themselves, showing up. The one thing that I do and that is truly unique is that I channel your soul. I channel your soul. We don't stay in the mental traffic of your mind. You don't get lost into the stories of your mind. But I'm in this country, Lelia, and the economy here is different, and I cannot sell premium. I have a small audience, and I did a 33K month with less. I don't even have 1,300 followers or 1,500 followers on Instagram. I have 60 people in my list. So it's not about the numbers. It's about, do you trust? Do you believe? Do you show up? Radiating trust, radiating belief. Do you believe in the value of your work? Do you believe that your work is truly unique and only you can deliver that? It's all about that, and having a space where you come and you fuel that trust. You fuel that vision. You're surrounded with mentors and with a community that tells you, yes, it's possible. I'm not going to tell you, oh, I want to. You come to me like, I want to create a 10K month or a 20K month. And I'm like, oh, that's not possible. You're aiming too high. I'm like, let's go, let's do it. Let's see what can we do. What is meant to shift in your awareness? What is the guidance that your soul wants to bring forward? The community around you says, of course you can do it. Let's do it. And I combine deep spiritual work with strategy. So in my spaces, and the people who are live here, they can actually share also in the chat. I invite you ladies to share your experience about the mastermind in the chat. There is no one of the ladies that is now in the mastermind, she told me that I'm a unicorn on the market. She said like there is no other person that she knows that she's aware of offering such levels of depth when it comes to business strategy and to the deep energy work that we are doing. We're going deep into your subconscious mind, and we also combine strategies. So I actually have like a masterclass where I have shared only, it's exclusively for the people inside the mastermind. I share with them the exact framework behind events that have helped me to take my business like 3 times bigger in under 7 months. I share with them the strategy. I share with them strategies around sales. I share with them how to sell premium offers, how to understand the psychology of the buyers, how to move. And we work on the mindset, we work on the energy from which you're showing up. If you believe, oh, Lelia, now I'm aware of my beliefs. Now I'm aware of what is keeping me back. I'm going to go and work alone on this. With all my heart and tough love, I'm going to tell you that this is the biggest lie. I've been there. I've been 1 year without mentorship, without investing in mentorship, and it was the lowest that I went in that year in my business. You can do things alone, but it's going to take you a long time and it's going to be so much harder because we all have the human moments. We all have, like, even the multi-millionaires, they still have moments of crying, of doubting, of like, life is lifing. We need a community by our side. We need mentorship by our side that helps us to rise. So in my spaces, and especially in the mastermind, I would love to invite you there. It's a premium offer, and probably your logical mind is gonna go into like, oh my God, this is a lot of money. Here's the thing, like nobody has money, like take it, like 10K, here it is, I have it. But people who really want growth, who really want to scale their business, who are serious about showing up, making things happen, they will find the resources. They will create the resources. They will not let money or time stop them to go after what they want. And I know for a fact that it's maybe this offer, it seems to your logical mind, it seems expensive. I know for a fact that it's more expensive to be in the same place a year from now. I know for a fact I wouldn't see myself in the same place. For me, it's more expensive to be where I am now in even 3 months from now, not a year, 3 months from now. I'm constantly growing as well as a person. Like I was like paying 15K, 1,500 per month for mentorship. Now I went to 2,000 per month mentorship. I put myself into spaces where I constantly grow, and everything that I'm learning, I'm taking and I'm delivering to my clients as well. You will never outgrow my spaces because I keep growing and I keep sharing with you. And it's impossible. It is impossible that you join the mastermind and you have zero value. It's impossible. The ladies who are inside, they are launching their first premium offers. They are showing up. They are coming back to work after motherhood. Some of them are launching for the very first time online their business. They are bringing their business to more people. There are different stages in their business. The mindset, the strategy, the business model is all there to support them to create a business that gets to scale in an easy way so they have time to spend with their families and their loved ones. And that is a long-term success. This is what we are building. We are building long-term businesses. So if you feel you want to be in that space, we are go-getters. We are people who are, it's called actually Miracles Makers Mastermind because creating miracles is the story of my life. I've created huge miracles regarding my health, healed a 7 centimeters cyst on my left ovary, right ovary, in 3 months. Even if they send me to surgery, I didn't do the surgery. I did mindset work, energy work, essential oils, and I hired support to work with other people on the somatic level. Um, I create miracles in my business. I went from a person who last year, I had the goal of 500 euros per month. I was almost closing my business because I was coming out of a year of not having support in my business, not hiring support. I went from that to creating my first 13K month, and then in October it was a 33K month. Trusting before it's there, moving, taking action, taking bold actions, healing my relationship with money and sales. Guys, in my world, I'm going to speak about sales. I'm going to help you to rewire your connection with sales. See sales differently, show up, sell. If you want to serve more people, learn how to sell in a heart led way, in a heart connection way. Support people to connect back to their souls and make decisions based on their souls rather than like, oh my God, like staying in the mind and analyzing the prices for an offer. No, what the offer has for you. What is the transformation? What is the identity shift that is happening there for you, not the price on the offer. Where are you? What is the cost of not joining an offer? That's higher than the cost of the offer. Um, so yes, for me, it's like I am a miracles maker in like forever and ever going and creating bigger and bigger kind of miracles. I've created so many miracles also with my family. So this has been the journey for me. Like literally, I developed and I'm still developing crazy levels of trust, and I'm taking bold actions before the evidence is there. So if you're looking for a space where you want to have a community where people remind you of your genius constantly, you have a mentor that is like, let's see how we do this. I'm not gonna tell you you're too ambitious. Capricorn rising, yeah. If you want to have a space where like you're constantly plugged in, because we have weekly phone calls and you have access on Telegram towards to the community and to myself throughout the week. So if you have like questions or like, your mind starts to go crazy, we go into the soul. I channel what I see and we dissolve all the confusion. If you want to have also space where there is both mindset and energy support and also the strategy in business, which is something that you will not find in the market, then this mastermind is going to be for you. You can reach out to me. I will also share with you guys in the replay. I'm going to share with you the link if you want to apply for the mastermind. Flirt with the application, see if this is for you. Don't decide based on the price that this is not for you. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? What do you want to build? Because this is like a cheap option. If you have big dreams, you can make this amount of money in a few months back. When you have your mindset, you have the energy, and you take the right actions, it's impossible for you not to create success. In terms of like the investment to be in this space, I have more options. You can either go like a turbo truster. So you have 3 1-on-1 sessions with me included. And you get, as I said, like 3 group sessions per month. We meet on a weekly basis. And you have a 3 1-on-1 sessions with me. That's a turbo truster investment, and you can pay either in full, so it's 9,200 paid in full, or 1,300 to unlock the ride. I'm speaking about the Lamborghini, the cosmic Lamborghini, because we want to move at speed light towards what our soul desires to create. You have 1,300 to unlock, and then 878 per month for 9 months. And if you decide that you want to be in this space, that you want to grow, that you want to be around other go-getters and like ambitious people and people who reflect the power back to you and people who support you, if you are an action taker, I am going to open 5 1-on-1 sessions for you if you join by the 9th of April. So if you join by the 9th of April, you will get 5 one-on-one sessions with me. It's a 9-month journey. So throughout the 9 months, you get 5 one-on-one sessions with me instead of 3. And other bonuses, I will share in the link the bonuses. You get so many programs. You get both strategy and mindset and energy work. One of the best product that is included inside the mastermind and only people who are there have access to. I've created a masterclass where I've shared the framework behind events that help me to 3x my business in 7 months, 3x my business in under 7 months. Or there is the option for the VIP. I have 3 VIP ladies inside right now. You can pay in full, it's a 10K investment, or you can pay 1,200 euros and 988, like 990 euros per month. And then you get the 101 monthly with me, plus 3 soul spa sessions with my client love. So you, on top of the weekly group coaching, you get also the 101, 9 101. So 9 months, you get a 101 with me every single month. That's the VIP level. I actually wanted, if some of you is brave enough, the ladies who are live here and they want to share live on camera how being in the mastermind is for them. If they want to share it live, you can also unmute yourself and let the energy flow. And if not, that's also okay. Let me know in the chat if you want to unmute yourself and share. Angelina, I will bring you up then if she wants to share. Share with the ladies and with the men. There are also men.
Hello, I am so happy to share Lelia's beautiful work. I have been working with Lelia for the past year. It's been a year. Yeah, we're in April.
Yeah.
Um, and April is the month that I started with her last year. I had a birthday reading session with her, and then right after that, I joined one of her programs. Magical Genius. Was that the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And oh my goodness, I am not the same person I was a year ago. I'm not the same person I was even 6 months ago. I just keep constantly expanding and expanding. And Lelia, what she does is absolutely amazing and mind-blowing. I wish I could find better words, but like I know those words are good enough, but the feeling that I feel everything in here. So to really explain in detail what I feel is difficult. But let me just say that like what I feel is something that I am so incredibly grateful for. And every time I think about it and the work that I've been doing with Lelia, I get emotional. I get so emotional because we have been through so much together. And I would have never thought that one of my soul gifts is to sing. It was very difficult in the beginning, but Lelia has been amazing, helping me feel comfortable. We revisited this soul gift numerous times to clear any blocks, to heal my throat chakra, to, anything to help me move forward in doing this. The energy work has been tremendous in moving energy out and with spirit and assistance from many other spirits that come in. My mother has come through a couple times and that was mind blowing. I've healed a lot of past wounds, things that she placed upon me that weren't mine. And I can't say enough. The work has been truly incredible, life changing. I would not be where I am today if it was not for Lelia. And her amazing, powerful abilities to connect with spirit is truly incredible. So yeah, I thank you for allowing me to share. As I continue, on this journey, I am much like Lelia. I love to learn, love to expand, love to grow, and you have to be in it 100%. You have to be in it 100%. If your desires are so big like like mine are, and if you're so determined, but you're not sure, like my clarity, I had no clarity in direction on like what I was doing and what I wanted to do. um, I knew that I wanted to help people in a certain way, but I didn't know how. And that's the gap that we have been closing and closed a lot of. And I am now stepping into like my premium offer, my challenges, and inviting people in. And um, it's very exciting for me. I was in freeze mode. I was scared, so scared I could not take action for months. But I have crossed that threshold, and now I am taking action. And you just have to trust, because sometimes, some days I was just like, is this ever going to happen for me? Am I ever going to be able to move forward? But I knew in my heart that I would. I just needed a little time. My body needed to catch up. My system needed to catch up with what I knew up here, because I always have a deep knowing in my purpose here, very deep knowing, very big desires and vision. And that's what we create together. We put that into reality. Okay. So whatever's up here that's stirring for you, it is brought into reality. And spirit even helps you with your offers, which is incredible. Incredible. Gloria knows. Gloria knows.
We channel the offers. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we channel the offers too, not just energy work, mindset work. So it's incredible. So thank you so much, Lelia, for allowing me to share. I hope I inspire some of you, most of you, all of you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Angelina.
You're welcome.
And Gloria, you also wanted to share.
Hello. So I just laughed so loud when Angelina said, and spirit even guides you to create your business offer. It's true. Probably I would not have believed it until I experienced it or saw it with you. So if I to take one step back, I met Lelia a few years ago, and she really helped me do a huge step uncovering my soul's gifts, and that's really like an incredible work you can do with Leila. Like, it's so magical. I'm forever thankful I did it. I would never know what I was able to do with my drawing. So I paint and do healing art activations. And I was already doing it, and I always looked at it. I was always curious, but I didn't know all the power and what was possible behind. And of course, working with Lelia, like, she made me see what I do, understand, and expand it. I'm still expanding into it. And that's like, I would never have done with so much awareness what I'm doing now with it. She's now supporting me through the mastermind, also creating an oracle deck with my art. So I'm super looking forward to publish it. Again, here is a very small example. I had an idea in mind. I was like, I wanted to be super, like, many cards. I want to do this. And I had thought through it. Of course, the creation process is very intuitive and through my soul, but then the oracle part, I've never done it. And then Leila really helped me to see and feel that I was already where I was meant to be. Otherwise, I would have kept on creating other cards. It would have taken much longer. And yeah, we just felt into it, and she helped me. And then I'm like, okay, well, actually, it's almost done. And now it's done. I'm just like preparing so that it can be published. But like, that's a very simple but good example of how it can speed up and you stop being in your mind. And in the mastermind, I'm also working on my premium offer, because that's one of the topics she talked about. I'm like, maybe we should do, and we will, I'm sure, do another testimonial in 1 month or a bit more when all of this will be in place. And that's something I've experienced many times with Leila, is I think, Leila, you put in front of me something I haven't seen yet, and it's really like pushing me, but not in a negative sense, like moving me towards doing something I hadn't even seen myself. So I'm really catching up, and I probably would not be launching it right now if I would not be in the mastermind. So, and of course, again, we started laughing about how spirit guided us with of course, the way also I'm doing it right now. So I believe for me, where I was in my business, because I've been in business for longer, like 7 years now this year, I really wanted to have a different way of being guided through business. And I knew through Lelia I would have it. I'm experiencing it on a daily, weekly basis. And really, I feel my soul, my business needed that way of moving forward. I couldn't find it somewhere else, or I haven't seen it somewhere else. So I feel if you feel the calling to be guided in a very aligned, for sure, way, but close to your soul and to your talents, to your uniqueness, and you want to birth something from there, which is the place where you will feel the safest, the more secure, the more grounded, then like really I hope you feel also the joy and the excitement to join us and who we are also in this mastermind and have fun with us. So that's my invitation.
Thank you so much, Gloria, for sharing. Thank you so much, ladies. There are two more ladies in the mastermind at the moment, but they are not live here on the phone on the call. Thank you so much for sharing and for supporting other people to see the kind of work that we are doing. I wanted to give you a taste also directly from my existing clients. And what Gloria shared is true. I can see in your aura when you're like one project is done and it's time for you to move on. I can also see where you're playing small. If like maybe you want to launch a 3 months offer and you're ready for 6 months offer. If you want to launch at the price and you're actually meant to go at the next level of price and like learn to hold the energy there. So yeah. Our souls do not let us play small. Guys, I will wait for you inside of the mastermind. And if you don't buy, you just don't buy for now. I know I'm going to see you later. I have no doubt. Because this offer is really juicy. It's exactly as my client said. There's a unicorn on the market. You are not going to find the same level of depth in business and in spirituality. Another client of mine, she's also live here, learning about my soul gifts, and my genius was the biggest and most expansive gift I could have ever received in this lifetime. The amount of money can feel big and provide so much more value than the act, and you provide, she means me. Lelia provides more value than the actual price. I'm super thankful to be in the mastermind and honored to follow your journey and receive your support. Okay. How are we feeling? How are you feeling? If you feel the pull, trust it. Let's have a conversation. I will not force you into anything. And I will also tell you that I do see your energy and I do see the truth of your soul. And your soul will not let you play small. I have people who wanted to be in my spaces and they were not aligned for the offer that I had. So I said no to them. I prefer to tell you if an offer is not aligned with you because it doesn't serve me and it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve anyone that you are in a space that doesn't support you to move forward. So if it's not aligned for you, I will tell you that it's not aligned. And if it is aligned for you, I will also tell you what I see in your aura, what I see in your soul. And if you come up with things that are related to money or related to resources, and if your own soul says that it is time for you to be there, I will share the truth with you. So there is never pressure in my cells. I simply channel the truth of your own soul, and it's undeniable. And there is absolutely no way that you come in my world that you invest yourself and your presence and you commit to show up and do the work and implement everything that I will share. There is absolutely no way that you will not skyrocket your business. And I'm very passionate about premium prices. So if you want to create your premium offer, come and be in my world. Okay. Let's move to another juicy part. Let's do some alchemy and energy work. And let's see what is coming through. So I invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And even now that you experience this energy of sales, notice if I triggered you, if something was triggered inside of you. And just imagine that sales is like a bubble of energy, and you bring it and you give it a big hug. You give it a big hug and you just accept it. And you allow yourself to connect with this bubble of cells. And you allow it to grow your business. and your impact and your contribution in this world. Okay. And now I invite you to go inside of your brain, in your mind. Bring your attention in your mind, in your body. Take a deep breath in and bring all your energy and awareness back inside of your body. Connect a little bit with the body where you are in this present moment. Let's lower a little bit the mind, the mental energy, and bring in more the spiritual energy, the awareness inside of your body. And I invite you to go inside of your mind and bring forward in front of your third eye with your eyes still closed. Rising from your heart center, rising from your heart center. Amplifying your heart center 1,000 times more. The truth of your heart, the truth of your soul. Amplifying the energy of your heart center, of your soul, and rising to meet the third eye, to meet your brain, to meet the stories that tell you that is not possible, that you are not capable, that you cannot do whatever you want to do, that you are not made for millions, that you're not coming from a wealthy family, that is not for you. Allow the truth of your heart to rise and go into the third eye, and then I invite you from the third eye and from your heart to connect with the vision that is rising from your heart and is moving through your third eye. A vision that feels maybe too high, too big, too ambitious in your business right now, in your work, regarding money. And see kind of like the first vision that comes up, the first ambitious goal. And then somewhere in the back of this vision, somewhere in the back of the vision, we are going to put the millions. You reaching the level of millions, creating, moving millions, creating millions, delivering millions. So somewhere in the back, there are the millions. What would it take for your mind to open up and think and believe that that's possible? And I see a river, I see the word millions, and I see a river that starts to flow towards your mind, towards your third eye. And if I tap into that river, I see the frequency and vibration of creativity. There is never a lack of money. It's just a limitation in our imagination of how to create millions. A limitation in our imagination. Our imagination cannot grasp in this moment how you could create millions. How you could sell, what you could sell at that level. The value you could create to be exchanged at that level. So allow this flow, this river, is this energy work, what we are doing, of creativity, the frequency and vibration of creativity, to embrace your mind, to penetrate every single part of your brain, especially the logical brain, and to allow more flow between your hemispheres, between the left and right hemisphere, between the logical side of the brain and the imagination side, the creative side of the brain, the one that knows that there is no limit. And if there is one thing that Spirit desires to activate in your mind today, is that you're just one idea away. Can you open your system here and now to believe that you're just one idea away from your next offer, from your next premium offer, from your next 10K offer, from your next 50K offer, 100K offer, down the line, $1 million, euros offer? Can you accept? Can you see? Can you understand? Can you open your awareness to receive the truth that you're just one idea away? That out of nowhere you can receive an idea of a project, of a collaboration. One idea. It can drop into your heart, into your body. And that idea can help you create and make millions. It's not about more knowledge. It's about your openness to be more creative, to find solutions, to find ways of making things happen. Your power to create money, to create time, to create resources, to create your identity, to recreate yourself over and over and over again in the process of your own becoming, in the process of creating your own desires. Can you allow this flow of creativity, this energy of creativity to flow from your mind, where we have invited it to be, throughout your entire system here now? Allow this river of creativity to flow through you and to connect with the essence inside of you that is already pure creative energy. And become aware that you are home in your creativity. It is who you are. You are pure creative force, pure creative energy. And sometimes you just forget that. And you see and live life through your left hemisphere, and you believe the limitations that actually do not exist. And just observe how you feel in this energy of creativity and allow it. It might not make sense. It's okay. What's the point to connect with this energy inside of me? Allow it to be and be curious to explore its power. Are you aware that you are one idea away from your biggest breakthrough? From a vision, from a project that can change your life completely? Are you aware that you can be one idea away? Are you aware of your power of creativity that is flowing through you? Are you aware of the power of the creative force that not only is flowing through you, but it is who you are in your core? Every time you say that I don't have the money, I don't know how to do this, I don't have the time, it's like an amnesia. You forget you are pure creative force. And I invite you to connect in your solar plexus, to bring this creative energy in your solar plexus, in the center of your being, in the back of your spine, and connect there, gather there all your creativity. And I invite you to stay and connect with that part inside of your being and go into the center of that sphere. Create a sphere with all your creativity, all your creative power. And then bring it down a few inches above the navel in your sacral chakra. And I invite you to step into the middle of that sphere of light. And I invite you to observe when you are aware that your pure creative energy, infinite creative energy, when you are connected to your creativity, when you're connected, when you're part of this pulsating inner energy, alive energy, moving, constantly bursting with energy, alive energy, full of life, full of ideas, full of creation. I want you to feel the truth. I invite you to observe if you believe that there is anything that you cannot create. Observe. Is there anything that you're not capable of creating or you cannot create? Can you observe that if there is something that you don't believe you can create, it's just a limitation in the imagination, but not in your actual power to create? The limitation is in the awareness, not in your power to create. You have infinite creative power. You have infinite creative power. You have infinite creative power. Allow this energy, allow this message, allow those words to rise from your womb, to rise from your second chakra if you don't have a womb, to rise from your creative center throughout your entire body and remind you that you have infinite creative power. You can create anything and everything that you desire. You have infinite creative power. Trust and take bold actions towards what you say you want. Trust and take bold actions towards what you say you want. Show up for yourself and create the life that you are meant to create. The life that is meant for you. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And be curious what this creative energy can birth for you in the next hours, in the next days, in the next weeks. What is an idea that is coming through, that is calling you to create it, to move towards it, that desire that is pulling you towards to create it, to make it happen, to make it be in reality, to make it be an experience. Get excited for the life that you're here to create, for what's coming, for what's next, for what you're capable of creating. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. And allow the energy that we worked on today to integrate with ease and love inside of you and serve your highest good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can open your eyes. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? So nice to see your smiling faces. Ah. So good. Ready to go and create big things, ladies. Some of the ladies that are here are already in the mastermind, so of course we will go and create big things. Guys, thank you for showing up. Feeling relaxed in my power and creative energy. I could have stayed in this energy. We're gonna stay in it and make the best out of it. Thank you so much for showing up, for being here. Let me know how this landed. I am reading your feedbacks, even if it's in the replay. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. And thank you for doing the work. If you do the work on the replay, it's equally powerful. The energy is knowing no time and limit and space, so it is gonna work equally. I'm sending you so much love. Enjoy. Go and make millions, and let's make millions together. I'm here to rise, and I'm taking you guys with me. There is no other way. And I'm sure we can do this. Sending you so much love. Bye.